Imagine waking up every day with a clear vision of what needs to be done, your priorities already set, and your time mapped out. In the chaos of daily life, Stoic philosophy teaches us the transformative power of planning tomorrow today. By organizing your day the night before, you take control of your time and ensure that your energy is focused on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that time is finite, and planning helps us move from reacting to life to shaping it with purpose. Just as Eisenhower distinguished between urgent and important tasks, or Michael Phelps visualized every stroke in his race, organizing tomorrow today allows you to direct your actions with intention and clarity. This practice not only enhances productivity but also aligns your daily efforts with your greater goals, making each day a carefully crafted step toward a more meaningful life. Organize tomorrow today. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not to a chaotic whirlwind of uncertainty, but to a day where you know exactly what needs to be done and how to tackle it. This sense of control doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you organize tomorrow today. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius understood this better than most. In his Meditations, he wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This powerful reminder about the brevity of life encourages us to not wait until the morning to decide what's important. Instead, we plan, prioritize, and set our intentions the night before, ensuring that we wake up with purpose. When you organize tomorrow today, you take the reins of your life, shifting from a reactive mode to a proactive one. You're not simply running errands and checking boxes, you're shaping the day ahead in alignment with your goals, values, and the person you want to be. One vivid example of this comes from the life of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States. He wasn't just a leader in wartime strategy, but a master of time management. Eisenhower developed the famous Eisenhower Matrix, a method that separates tasks by urgency and importance. The night before, he would sort out his tasks, ensuring that he focused on what mattered most. This system allowed him to navigate his responsibilities with clarity, making decisions that had lasting impact. You don't need to be a president or military leader to benefit from this habit. Let's say you're a student with a critical exam the next day. Instead of waking up in a panic, unsure of where to start, you could take just 10 minutes tonight to plan your study session. Prioritize the most difficult topics, eliminate distractions, and set realistic goals. By organizing tomorrow today, you mentally prepare for success, without the overwhelm that comes from an unplanned morning. What happens when we don't plan ahead? We waste precious hours, bouncing between tasks without ever truly achieving anything meaningful. But when we organize tomorrow today, we align our actions with our values and ensure that every moment counts. So tonight, before your head hits the pillow, ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things I need to do tomorrow? Write them down, visualize them, and commit to making them happen. When you do this, you're not just planning for the next day, you're sculpting a future where time is your ally, and your goals aren't left to chance. Organize tomorrow today, and watch how this small shift transforms your life. Imagine this: you're constantly pulled in 1,000 different directions, each tugging at your time and energy. Your phone rings, your inbox floods with requests, and people ask for your attention, all while you're trying to keep your own life on track. In the face of these demands, it can feel impossible to stay focused on what truly matters. But what if the key to peace and success isn't saying yes more, but learning the art of saying no? This is where Stoic philosophy offers profound wisdom. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful tools you can wield in your journey toward a life of meaning, purpose, and clarity. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Seneca, understood that time and energy are finite resources. To be truly free, you must protect them from the endless distractions that seek to steal them. When we say yes to everything, we risk spreading ourselves too thin, leaving us with little to give where it matters most. Every time you say yes to an urgent but unimportant task, you're saying no to your own values, goals, and peace of mind. This constant accommodation, while seemingly generous, is a trap that keeps you tethered to the whims of others rather than the course you set for yourself. Take, for instance, the life of Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history. When asked what the secret to his success was, he replied that successful people say no to almost everything. By focusing only on the few opportunities that truly aligned with his goals, Buffett was able to conserve his energy and direct his attention toward what mattered most, those high-value decisions that would shape his life. By saying no to distractions, he created room for the big, impactful moves that led to his fortune. Even in the creative world, where countless distractions constantly pull at an artist's attention, saying no is just as crucial. Consider the writer Haruki Murakami, known for his unique literary voice. Murakami said that saying no to social events, parties, and even casual engagements was essential for him to maintain his creativity and focus. His strict schedule, waking up early, running, writing for hours, was his way of saying no to the noise and yes to the work that truly mattered. Now, consider your own life. How often do you find yourself agreeing to things simply out of obligation, guilt, or the desire to please others? How often do you say yes to tasks or commitments that don't align with your bigger goals, leaving you feeling drained and unfulfilled by the end of the day? The art of saying no is not just about rejecting invitations or requests. It's about creating space for your own growth, your own purpose, and your own happiness. The beauty of saying no is that it isn't selfish. In fact, it's a necessary act of self-respect. By saying no to what doesn't matter, you protect your time and energy for what does. You protect your dreams, your values, your health, and your happiness. It's a reminder that you are the architect of your life, and no one else should be allowed to design your day without your consent. The Stoic philosopher Seneca put it succinctly: "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Much of the time, we hesitate to say no because we imagine the consequences, disappointing someone, facing rejection, or appearing rude. But when you embrace the power of no, you free yourself from the mental burden of trying to please everyone. You give yourself the space to be who you truly are, to follow the path that resonates with your soul, not just the one that everyone else expects you to walk. Start small. The next time someone asks for your time or attention, pause. Ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? Will this bring me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, don't be afraid to turn it down. By doing so, you'll begin to carve out more room for the things that truly matter, for the moments that align with your deepest values, and for the life you're striving to create. Learning to say no is not just an act of rejection. It's an act of creation. It's the creation of space for the things you care about most: your dreams, your health, your happiness, your freedom. When you learn to say no, you're not just protecting your time, you're protecting your life. Are you ready to say no to the noise and yes to what truly matters? Focus on one thing at a time. In our fast-paced, multitasking world, it's easy to think that the more we juggle, the more productive we'll be. We have countless apps, notifications, and tasks fighting for our attention, making it seem like we must handle multiple things at once to keep up. But here's the truth: focusing on one thing at a time is not only the key to productivity, it's the gateway to deeper fulfillment, clarity, and excellence. The Stoics were masters of focus. They understood that a mind distracted by too many thoughts or pursuits is like a ship with no rudder, tossed around by every wave of urgency and pressure. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wisely noted in his Meditations, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." This profound statement isn't just about urgency, but about mindfulness and concentration. It's a call to fully immerse yourself in the present moment, to commit to the task at hand as if it were the most important thing in the world, because, in that moment, it is. When you focus on one thing at a time, you're not only working more efficiently, you're also freeing yourself from the mental clutter that so often clouds our judgment and peace of mind. Imagine trying to run a marathon while simultaneously reading a book, answering emails, and checking your phone. The result would be disaster. The same applies to life. When you try to do everything at once, you end up doing nothing well, leaving you feeling overwhelmed, unfocused, and unfulfilled. Take a look at Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time. In the midst of high-stakes games with the pressure of millions of eyes on him, Jordan was known for his incredible ability to focus on the present moment. His concentration on each dribble, each pass, each shot was legendary. It wasn't just his physical skill, it was his mental discipline. He didn't allow the crowd, the game's outcome, or the distractions around him to pull his focus. Every move he made was intentional, deliberate, and clear. That's why he was able to perform under pressure in a way few others could. Similarly, the inventor Thomas Edison exemplified singular focus in his work. He didn't split his attention between dozens of projects. Instead, he would immerse himself in one experiment for hours, days, sometimes even weeks, until he had extracted every ounce of potential from it. His focused dedication led to the creation of revolutionary inventions like the electric light bulb. Edison once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration." His genius wasn't just in his ideas, but in his ability to focus deeply and consistently on turning those ideas into reality. The key here is not just doing one thing at a time, but doing it with absolute presence and intention. In our world of distractions, this practice becomes revolutionary. You don't need to chase every opportunity or try to master everything at once. Instead, focus on what is right in front of you. Do it well. Do it completely. This level of attention doesn't just yield better results, it brings peace. The act of focusing on one task at a time helps to quiet the mind, reduce anxiety, and bring clarity. Think about your daily life. How often do you catch yourself doing one thing while thinking about another? How often do you divide your attention between meetings, emails, family, and personal goals, only to feel like you've made little progress on any of them? This mental fragmentation is not only inefficient, it's exhausting. Focusing on one task, on the other hand, allows you to pour your full energy into it, making the experience not only more effective but also more rewarding. The Stoics believe that a distracted mind is a prison, trapping you in a cycle of restlessness and dissatisfaction. Epicurus wisely stated, "If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire." This idea of subtraction applies perfectly to focus. When you stop chasing everything at once and focus on the few things that truly matter, you make room for deeper satisfaction and fulfillment. If you want to begin focusing on one thing at a time, start by choosing your most important task for the day and commit to it fully. Turn off your phone. Close your tabs. Eliminate distractions. Immerse yourself in the task at hand, whether it's work, creative projects, or simply spending quality time with loved ones. Give it your full attention, and notice how it changes not just your productivity, but your sense of peace and accomplishment. By focusing on one thing at a time, you're aligning with a principle that's been cherished for centuries, that true mastery comes not from spreading yourself thin, but from committing to the moment, wholeheartedly. And when you do, you unlock the power of presence, the power to be truly alive in whatever you're doing. Are you ready to drop the distractions and focus on what matters most? The rewards await. Embrace reflection. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept up in the relentless current of daily activities, rushing from one task to the next without ever taking a moment to pause. But what if the key to greater clarity, wisdom, and personal growth wasn't in doing more, but in doing less, by taking time to reflect? Embracing reflection is one of the most powerful habits you can adopt. It's a practice that invites you to step back and look at your life from a broader perspective, to examine your thoughts, actions, and experiences with the clarity of someone who is not merely surviving but intentionally growing. In Stoic philosophy, this act of reflection isn't just a casual glance back, but a deliberate and disciplined process that shapes the way you move forward. The Stoics were masters of self-reflection, and they made it a cornerstone of their daily practice. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, kept a journal in which he would reflect on his thoughts, his actions, and his responses to the world. In his meditations, he often asked himself piercing questions. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? How can I align my actions with my higher purpose? These questions weren't rhetorical. They were tools for self-discovery, allowing Marcus to refine his character and guide his decisions with greater wisdom. Reflection is not merely a passive activity of looking back. It's a dynamic process of engaging with your experiences and extracting meaning from them. It allows you to understand your successes and failures, your strengths and weaknesses, and your desires and fears. But more importantly, it offers you the chance to evolve and grow. Imagine trying to learn to play an instrument without ever stopping to listen to your own playing. You might improve by sheer repetition, but it is through reflection, by critically listening to what you're doing, that you truly master the craft. Think of reflection as a mirror, but instead of showing you your outward appearance, it reveals the inner workings of your mind and spirit. It lets you see what's going on beneath the surface, your automatic reactions, the patterns in your behavior, the assumptions driving your decisions. It helps you discern what is truly important and whether your actions align with your values and long-term goals. Without reflection, we live reactively, on autopilot, often unaware of how we're being shaped by circumstances rather than shaping them ourselves. One of the most famous proponents of reflection was the philosopher Socrates, who said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." This isn't just a call to self-awareness, but an invitation to transformation. Socrates understood that without reflection, we lose the ability to change. Reflection allows us to step back and see where we've gone astray, where we've succeeded, and where we have room to grow. But the power of reflection goes beyond just the big, philosophical moments. It applies in everyday life, too. Think about a time when you faced a difficult decision. Perhaps you were unsure which path to take. By taking a step back, looking at the situation from all angles, and reflecting on your past experiences, you would have been better equipped to make a wise choice. This ability to reflect allows us to avoid repeating past mistakes and empowers us to make decisions that are more aligned with who we truly are and what we want to become. In fact, reflection is the soil where growth takes root. When you take time to reflect on your actions, you create the space to observe how your behavior matches your intentions. You might realize that you've been sacrificing your personal needs to keep others happy, or that you've been putting off your goals for fear of failure. Reflection allows you to see these patterns clearly, but more importantly, it gives you the power to change them. It's about identifying where you've been stuck, so you can unstick yourself and move forward with greater purpose and intentionality. The practice of reflection doesn't require hours of deep contemplation every day. Even small moments can be powerful. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to ask yourself, what went well today? What didn't? How can I do better tomorrow? This simple habit of reviewing your actions, no matter how small, builds over time into a wellspring of insight. The beauty of reflection is that it doesn't judge, it simply reveals. It doesn't condemn you for your mistakes, but rather offers you a chance to learn from them. It doesn't praise you for your successes, but reminds you to appreciate the progress you've made while pushing you to strive for more. Reflection isn't about looking back with regret or dwelling on past decisions. It's about understanding where you've been, so you can better navigate where you're going. Just as a map helps you find your way, reflection helps you chart a course toward the life you truly want to live. As you go through your day, think of each experience as an opportunity to reflect. Embrace moments of silence, of stillness, and look inward to gain insight. The more you reflect, the more you will align your actions with your values, your passions with your purpose, and your present with your future. Are you ready to start reflecting on your life with intention? Are you ready to use this powerful tool to unlock the wisdom within you? The journey of self-mastery begins with a single moment of reflection, a moment that can shape not just who you are, but who you will become. Practice gratitude. Imagine waking up every day with the sense that the world is offering you a gift, a chance to start anew. But instead of rushing through life, you stop for a moment and acknowledge it. This is the power of gratitude, a force so simple yet so transformative. It has the ability to reshape your entire experience of life. In a world that often feels like it's chasing more success, more wealth, more recognition, gratitude is the art of appreciating what you already have. It's the practice of pausing, looking around, and recognizing the abundance in your life, even in the smallest of things. It's a deep awareness that happiness doesn't always lie in what we don't have, but in what we already possess. Gratitude is more than just saying, "Thank you." It's an active, conscious choice to focus on what is good, what is working, and what is beautiful in your life. It's a mindset, a lens through which you see the world, and it's a habit that can have a profound impact on your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. The Stoics, who practiced resilience and inner peace amidst life's challenges, knew that gratitude was essential to mastering oneself. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple reminder captures the essence of gratitude, recognizing that each day is a gift, no matter what it may bring. But why is gratitude so powerful? It's because it shifts your focus. Think of it as recalibrating your internal compass. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You begin to see the richness in the ordinary, the warmth of a cup of coffee, the smile of a loved one, the opportunity to learn something new. In a world that constantly pushes us to look ahead for the next big thing, gratitude invites us to slow down and fully experience the present moment. Gratitude also acts as a powerful antidote to negative emotions. In moments of frustration, anger, or sadness, it can be hard to see beyond the immediate storm. Yet, by practicing gratitude, you invite a sense of calm into the chaos. It's a reminder that no matter how difficult things may seem, there are always elements of your life worth appreciating: your health, your loved ones, your breath. This simple shift in perspective can diffuse tension, dissolve resentment, and allow you to respond to life with greater wisdom and grace. Gratitude, when practiced regularly, rewires your brain. Neuroscientific studies show that cultivating a gratitude practice increases the production of dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitters. Essentially, gratitude makes you happier by changing the way your brain processes emotions. It's like a mental workout, strengthening your capacity for joy, contentment, and positivity. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to find things to be thankful for, even in difficult circumstances. Think about a time when you felt overwhelmed. Maybe it was a hectic day, a challenging project, or a moment of personal loss. Now, imagine that in the midst of that moment, you took a deep breath and reminded yourself of 3 things you were grateful for. It could be something as simple as the sound of rain, the love of a family member, or even the opportunity to grow through the experience. This shift in perspective doesn't deny the difficulty. It just invites you to see beyond it. Gratitude isn't just about acknowledging the big, obvious blessings. It's about celebrating the small, often overlooked things. It's about the feeling of sunlight on your skin, the way your favorite song makes you feel alive, or the act of sharing a laugh with a friend. Gratitude magnifies these moments, allowing you to experience them with greater depth and appreciation. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine doesn't require grand gestures. It's as simple as taking a few minutes each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. Keep a gratitude journal, where each evening you write down 3 things, big or small, that you appreciate. Or, before bed, pause for a moment and reflect on the day's blessings. This practice doesn't just make you feel better, it strengthens your sense of connection with the world, fostering a deep sense of contentment. There's another layer to gratitude, one that transcends our immediate circumstances: the ability to be grateful for challenges and setbacks. This might seem counterintuitive, but consider that every hardship is an opportunity for growth, learning, and resilience. Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Through the lens of gratitude, even adversity becomes something to be thankful for, because it teaches you strength, patience, and the power of perseverance. Gratitude connects us to a deeper sense of meaning in life. It invites us to acknowledge not only the good in our lives but also the profound, unspoken truths about who we are and the interconnectedness of all things. It's about embracing life in all its forms, the joyful, the challenging, and the ordinary. When we practice gratitude, we open ourselves up to the beauty that surrounds us, and we become more fully alive in the process. So, the next time you wake up, take a moment to reflect on your life and ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? This simple practice will ground you, inspire you, and remind you that life, in all its ups and downs, is an incredible gift. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to peace, fulfillment, and lasting happiness. Are you ready to embrace this transformative practice? The more you practice gratitude, the more you'll realize that happiness isn't something you find, it's something you create, moment by moment, through the simple act of appreciating what already is.